Willow Creek. A name whispered with a shiver, a place shrouded in mist and mystery. The dense forest loomed, a dark sentinel against the pale sky. An unnatural quiet hung in the air, broken only by the rustling of unseen things. This was the stage for a tragedy, a story of 5 friends who ventured into the unknown and faced a fate more terrifying than any nightmare. The group consisted of Lucas, the quiet observer, Emily, the free spirit, Ben, the joker, Sarah, the level-headed one, and Daniel, the leader. They were inseparable, bound by a shared love of the outdoors and a thirst for adventure. They had camped in Willow Creek before, but this time felt different. The air was heavier, the silence deeper. They set up camp near a small gurgling stream, the sound a fragile counterpoint to the growing silence of the woods. As darkness fell, the fog thickened, wrapping around them like a shroud. The fire crackled, casting dancing shadows that seemed to take on monstrous shapes. Stories were shared, but the usual laughter was subdued, replaced by a growing unease. Terror gripped the remaining friends. They searched frantically for the source of the scream, their flashlights cutting through the dense fog. The trees seemed to watch them, their branches like twisted arms reaching out. The ground was uneven, treacherous, and the fog made it difficult to see. They stumbled and fell, their fear escalating with every passing moment. Another scream pierced the night, closer this time. It was followed by a guttural growl, a sound that sent shivers down their spines. The friends froze, their blood running cold. They knew deep down that something was terribly wrong. They were not alone in the woods. Something was hunting them. Panic set in. They scattered, running blindly through the fog, each one desperate to escape the unseen terror. The forest seemed to shift and change around them, the trees becoming a labyrinth of fear. They called out to each other, but their voices were swallowed by the fog. The sounds of pursuit grew closer, the heavy thud of footsteps echoing behind them. Lucas, separated from his friends, ran until he could run no more. He collapsed beneath a towering oak, his breath coming in ragged gasps. He listened, straining to hear any sign of his friends, but there was only silence. The oppressive silence of the forest, the silence of death. Days turned into weeks. The search for the missing campers intensified, but to no avail. Search parties combed the forest, their calls echoing through the silent trees. Dogs were brought in, but they lost the scent at the edge of the creek. The fog seemed to mock their efforts, obscuring the forest and hiding its secrets. Then, a miracle. Lucas was found wandering aimlessly near the edge of the forest, disoriented and confused. He was alive, but his eyes held a vacant stare. He remembered nothing of the night of the disappearances. He couldn't recall the screams, the growls, or the terror that had gripped him. His mind was a blank slate. He was the sole survivor, a ghost returned from the realm of nightmares. He was questioned relentlessly, but he could offer no answers. His memory was a locked door, the key lost in the fog of Willow Creek. He became an enigma, a living testament to the unsolved mystery. The families of the missing clung to the hope that their loved ones were still alive, somewhere in the vast wilderness, but as the days passed, hope dwindled, replaced by a gnawing despair. The forest had swallowed their children whole, leaving behind only silence and unanswered questions.
Section 5. The frantic search and the eerie silence. The search continued, driven by the desperate hope of finding some trace of the missing campers. They scoured every inch of the forest, their flashlights cutting through the fog. But the forest remained silent, its secrets guarded by the swirling mist. It was as if the 4 friends had simply vanished into thin air. The forest had become a place of fear, a symbol of the unknown. The search was eventually called off, the missing campers presumed dead.
Lucas's trauma and the shadow of suspicion. Lucas became a recluse, haunted by memories he couldn't remember. He was plagued by nightmares, visions of swirling fog and shadowy figures. The community's sympathy gradually turned to suspicion. Lucas was the only survivor, the only witness to that fateful night. Some whispered he was responsible for the disappearances. He became an outcast, a pariah in his own town. He was a victim of circumstance, haunted by the ghosts of Willow Creek. Section 7. Whispers of the Supernatural and Local Legends. Willow Creek had always been a place of strange stories and local legends. Tales of unexplained disappearances, strange lights in the forest, and eerie whispers on the wind. The locals spoke of ancient spirits that roamed the woods, guardians of the forest who punished those who dared to trespass on their sacred ground. The disappearances of the 4 campers breathed new life into these old legends. People began to whisper about the curse of Willow Creek, a malevolent force that preyed on those who ventured too deep into the forest. The fog was said to be the breath of the spirits, concealing their movements and luring unsuspecting victims to their doom. The stories grew more elaborate with each telling, fueled by fear and superstition. Some claimed to have seen shadowy figures moving through the trees, their eyes glowing red in the darkness. Others spoke of hearing disembodied voices whispering their names, luring them deeper into the forest. The legends of Willow Creek became a part of the town's folklore, a cautionary tale whispered around campfires. The forest became a place to be feared, a place where the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural blurred. The disappearances of the campers became another chapter in the long and dark history of Willow Creek. Section 8. The Psychological Evaluation and the Unbreakable Amnesia. Lucas underwent extensive psychological evaluations, hoping to unlock the secrets hidden within his mind. He was subjected to hypnosis, dream analysis, and a battery of tests designed to break through his amnesia. But his mind remained a fortress, impenetrable and unyielding. The memories of that night remained locked away, shrouded in the fog of his subconscious. The psychologists were baffled. They had never encountered a case of amnesia so complete, so resistant to treatment. Some suggested that Lucas was subconsciously blocking the memories, protecting himself from a trauma too horrific to bear. Others speculated that his amnesia was a symptom of a deeper psychological disorder. The evaluations yielded no answers, only more questions. Lucas's amnesia remained a mystery, a medical enigma. He was a puzzle that no one could solve. He was the boy who couldn't remember, the boy who held the key to the mystery of Willow Creek but couldn't turn it. The lack of answers only fueled the suspicions surrounding him. His amnesia became a symbol of his guilt in the eyes of some. He was the boy who knew but wouldn't tell. He was the boy who held the secrets of Willow Creek and refused to share them. He was the forgotten one, trapped in a prison of his own mind. Section 9. The Unsolved Enigma and the Lingering Questions. Years passed, but the mystery of Willow Creek remained unsolved. The disappearances of the 4 campers became a cold case, a file gathering dust in the archives of the local police department. The families of the missing were left with no closure, no answers to the questions that haunted them. The forest remained a place of fear and fascination. Hikers and campers avoided it, their minds filled with stories of the vanished campers and the whispers of the supernatural. The fog continued to roll in, thick and heavy, obscuring the secrets hidden within the trees. The questions lingered, unanswered and unresolved. What happened to the 4 campers on that fateful night? What secrets did the forest hold? What did Lucas see or hear that his mind refused to remember? Was it a tragic accident, a case of foul play, or something more sinister? The mystery of Willow Creek became a part of the town's identity, a scar that refused to heal. It was a reminder of the fragility of life, the power of the unknown, and the enduring nature of unanswered questions. Willow Creek's haunting legacy. Willow Creek became a symbol of loss and unanswered questions. The past refused to stay buried. Echoes of screams and whispers lingered. Some mysteries may never be solved, some questions never answered. The story of the vanished campers became a local legend. It haunted the town, a reminder of the darkness beneath their peaceful community. A legacy of fear, mystery, and haunting reality.